I was stuck in a cabin in Pennsylvania. I was supposed to play in a little club, but it snowed. And the man that was putting me up he run a little radio station. Oh, Jack, you're a radio guy. You'll love it. You might find this interesting if nobody else does. We were up on this top of a mountain in Pennsylvania running this little radio station and playing these classical music, you know, and folk music. And I had some things that were kind of bothering me and worrying, unfinished business and so forth. Because one of my best friends had run off with my best wife. And I didn't quite know what to do, and I had to think things out. And fortunately, I had this gig in Pennsylvania, so I had to go there. And this guy was putting me up. And he was a law student. His dad was a lawyer in Philadelphia, and I think he later became a Philadelphia lawyer, which was Woody Guthrie wrote a song about that. So, without any more ado, because I realized we ended up, the snow got so big he had to shut down the radio station and go home. And he lived up on another mountain in a little log cabin. We got there just in time because it was snowing so bad, you know, we weren't even sure we could get up the road. We got there, went in, had a whole porch full of firewood. I'm sure that every one of your stories is a lot more interesting than what I'm telling you, so just carry on with it. I wish I could hear all of your stories, because I love them. And I don't like people as a rule, you know, I get to see them all the time, just as a general species kind of thing. You know what I'm talking about? I am the slowest driver in Marin County. I told the highway patrolman that time, I said, don't you think I deserve a buckle? He didn't answer me. So we were stuck, he had this record, a Bob Dylan record. He had a porch full of firewood, a reefer full of venison, and a bottle of Cutty Sark, you know, with the square river, the clipper ship on the label, and with this Bob Dylan record. So we sat down, we put a log on the fire, we put some venison on the stove. I took a little sip of whiskey and carefully noting what level it was down to the royal sales in the beginning, and then down to the top gallant sales, and then the topsails later in the week. Very careful, because we didn't know when that blizzard was going to stop and we'd ever get the door open again. We had to, like, you know, conserve firewood and stuff. And listening to the Bob Dylan record over and over again. And I used to sit in the That was the song. And finally, after 3 days, it warmed up, the snow melted, we got the door open, we jumped in my truck, which was, my motorhome at the time was like a 1950 Chevrolet Bell telephone repair truck with a little canvas cover on the back and a mattress. We drove up to North Titty, and there was Mississippi John Hurt was playing at the Gaslight. Oh, elegant! We're having a floral show, ladies and gentlemen. This story has no end, but I'll cut it. So we went up to New York to see what was happening up there. I got to sing my new song. I learned the song. Ain't no use to sit and wonder why, man. And we went into Gaslight. It was Mississippi John's night off. It was a Monday night, you know, because we closed on Monday nights. We went in there. There was the usual crowd was assembled. Dave Van Rump was there, and Peter and Paul. Mary was out shopping, I believe. Bob Dylan, the guy that wrote the song, was there, and Peter Lafarge, my best friend, who was a saddle bronc rider. and two unidentified tourists from New Jersey. The place was full. Had about 42 people in there. You couldn't fit another person in. I figured I'm going to sing my new song that I just learned. 3 nights. That's a record for me. It usually takes me about 6 months to learn a new song. And so I got up there and I started playing the song. And I go, and Bob, it was dark in there, but he stood up and he waved his arm at me. And he said, "I really see you, Dick." I said, "What'd you say?" Yeah, I could see him. I recognized him by his halo. There's a little light shining. And he said, I'd never had anything relinquished to me before. So I've been singing ever since. And it goes something like it. This is for Rock. That has my same birthday, so we're like brothers under the calendar. Ain't no use to sit and wonder why, babe. If you don't know by now. And ain't no use to sit and wonder why, babe. It'll never do somehow. When your rooster crows at the break of dawn, look out your window and I'll be gone. You're the reason I'm traveling on, but don't think twice, it's alright. And it ain't no reason to call another name, girl, like you never done before. Ain't no use in calling out my name, yeah, 'cause I can't hear you anymore. Thinking and I'm wondering, walking down the road, how I once loved a woman, child, and told give her my heart, but she wanted my soul. Don't think twice, it's alright. I know the guitar is out of tune, but I haven't had a lot of help about tuning. That's alright. And it ain't no use in turning on your light, babe, like I never knowed. Ain't no use in turning on your light, babe, 'cause I'm on the dark side of the road. Still I wish there was something you would do or say to try to make me change my mind and stay. We never did too much talking anyway. Don't think twice, it's alright. bound, can't tell. Goodbye is too good a word, so I just say farewell. I'm not saying you treated me unkind. Yeah! This is for you, Mike. Could have done better, but I don't mind. You just kinda, I just kinda, somebody, but don't think twice, it's alright.